I would like to give a demo about the filtering and services with Pulsar function and the SQL interface. We set up a Kubernetes cluster running our hosted cloud environment. So as you can see, that broker is here. Let me also started SQL REST endpoint, which will be accepting SQL queries from user, and then convert that into Pulsar functions and submit into our cloud environment. Okay, so after that, let me also started a data injector to inject some kind of example data into our remote Pulsar topic called public default demo. So to give you a sense what's for inside this topic, let's see the data here. Okay, basically this message has a key and with 1234012330, and then with properties, location properties, and some kind of content, different type values inside the content, like integer, Boolean, double number, and strings. Okay. So first, let me start the Python and connect it to our REST endpoint. So you can see we are getting the information for this endpoint. It said basically the response is that it's okay and with the runtime Pulsar functions. So let's look into our first SQL query. Basically, what it's doing is like it's filtering out all the messages with key field equals 1 and select them from the demo import topic and send them into the demo out topic. So let me submit it here. So we can see that the query is successfully submitted, and the REST endpoint is actually passing that and converting that into Pulsar functions. And if we look into the cluster, we can see that there's another function pod running now with some kind of metadata information and the random generated field. So if we look into the function resources of the cluster, we can also see this function is start and running. So let's go back to pod and check what's inside the log here. Okay, so basically it's like sending messages into the output topic. So let's check what's inside the output topic we choose to insert into. Okay. So different from we just see with like keys equals to 0, 1, 2, or 3. Now we can only see key with key with 1. So and as like more and more data injected into the import topic, there are more and more data are outputted to this output topic. So since we just inserted 100 messages, and it will be stopped at around like message ID equals 97. Okay, so I think this is the first queries we would like to see. Basically, it demonstrates that we can filter messages based on their key values. And the second one is quite similar, except that the condition now switched to the locations of the messages. So basically, we would like to get all the messages with property location property equals to SF. So let me first kill this query, kill this function, just to avoid any duplicated results. So okay. Okay. Here the second query. It says success, and we can see that there's a new function spin up here, which will help us processing this new query. And let's go to the pod view. Okay, so we can see that there's another one, and it's processing messages. So if we go to the output messages, we can see that they are all like SF message location equals to SF. the reason why we still see like key equals 0 is like basically there are 4 keys and there are 4 locations, and somehow like message SF map is mapped to 0. They kind of match up with each other again, but you get the ideas here. So okay, let's moving forward. Let me kill that again. Kill the query again, and okay, let's go to the third query. So the third one is kind of a little bit complicated. Basically, the filtering condition is about first of all, it's a composition of the two different filtering criteria, and secondly, one is handling type integers, and the other is handling type about Boolean values. So let me submit that query again. Again, it's success, and here is the processing log of this backend gateway, which is passing this query and converting that into function understandable format. So now we can see another function is spin up. And if we look into the messages here, you can see that now there are all these like newly outputted messages must have the refundable status equals to true, and their product ID is 333. So other than that, like we can see that there are locations from NYC and there are locations from SF, and the key is like 0 or 2. So I think now we kind of have a good idea on how the filtering works.